remember, at the end of the night, one man of 16 will be left standing. That man will go on to Super Brawl in 1998 to face the world champ, who at that time could be framed, Sting.
No doubt about it. That's what everybody thinks. Now, Tony, you can ask me any question about this match, about these Japanese wrestlers, their names, their origins. I'll have all the answers. All the answers.
All right, give me what you know, Brain.
I'll show you how to do it. Tanae, hit it.
Well, we have the tag team of Sumo Fuji and Shima Nobunaga, 2 of 5 wrestlers that have ventured from Tokyo, Japan, all the way around the world to Mexico City, Mexico, where they're being trained for the Lucha Libre style of wrestling by none other than the Ultimo Dragon. They're trying to follow in the footsteps of their hero, the Dragon, the self-made man, a wrestler who himself, without knowing a word of the Spanish language, ventured to Mexico City about a decade ago, became a huge star south of the border, and now is recognized as one of the true Japanese legends and making his name in the United States with World Championship Wrestling.
We are joined by Mike Tanae, Tony Schiavone, my interpreter.
Well, thank you, Brain. Would you ask Mr. Tanae if he's going to do maybe part 80 on the Lucha Libres, maybe on these Japanese guys coming to Mexico?
I refuse to talk to him.
Well, that actually is next up.
Is it really?
Well, what we're going to do, the Lucha Libre series finally coming to its conclusion, and myself, Neil Pruitt, and the entire crew is going to soon be headed to the Orient, the land of the rising sun, where we can put together a documentary on Japanese wrestling that I know you're going to really look forward to, Tony.
You're getting a free trip to Japan?
What do you mean a free trip?
A free trip?
I'm working.
It's all expensive.
I'm working. Next stop, Narita Airport.
Wow. Well, Mike, you've earned it, buddy. You're a good man, and it's good to have you here with us on this telecast. And being a disciple or working under Ultimo Dragon, I would think... How about that move? I would think gives young men a lot of encouragement, because Dragon is really quite a story from Japan to Mexico.
Well, it certainly does. We had the opportunity one afternoon to go to Arena Naucalpan, just outside Mexico City, and see the 5 Japanese wrestlers in training with Dragon. Sort of a different style of training that they use that he's brought over, more of the amateur techniques, a lot of mat holds employed. Of course, out of the 5 wrestlers, they're all cruiserweights. And as we see Sumo Fuji against the huge Meng, one half of the Faces of Fear, he and his tag team partner Nobunaga giving away a huge power, size, and weight advantage to Meng and the Barbarian.
Well, you know, size, power, the advantages, Brain, that you need to be the winner of World War III.
Not always size.
Not always size?
No, the bigger you are, sometimes that rope can hit the giant around the groin area, and that's halfway up the giant. You know, they can topple him over real easy. You're a guy the size of Eddie Guerrero, he's harder to get out.
And speaking of speed and quickness in a battle royal, remember last year at World War III that Rey Mysterio Jr. was one of the final 10 people to make the cut, and almost was right there at the end of that big 60-man 3-ring battle royal.
Naturally, he'd know that.
WCW's World War III comes your way on Sunday, the 23rd of November at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. It's available on pay-per-view, on DirecTV with Direct Ticket, the Dish Network, and satellite dish owners call Turner Premier. 60 of the top wrestlers in the world will vie for one spot, and that spot will be the last man standing, who will go on to Super Brawl February of '98 to face the World Heavyweight Champion. By that time, it could be Sting. Sunday, November 23rd, WCW presents World War III.
Well, Fuji and Nobunaga with very little offense in this matchup, giving away almost 100 pounds each to Meng and the Barbarian, and they are using that size and weight advantage to take total control and domination of this tag match.
I'll tell you, Meng and Barbarian are just too big for this team. They just overpower them so much.
Whoa, little effect with the chops from Sumo Fuji. 3 or 4 of them to the chest of the Barbarian, and he turns around and with one chop levels Sumo Fuji. Now the tag is into Meng with that vicious headbutt.
You know, I guess you have probably said this in so many words, but Ultimo Dragon's success in Mexico, I would think, and you say these 2 are 2 of 5 who have gone to Mexico. I would say that would open the door now for many, many more down the road, seeing the success that Dragon had.
Certainly, Tony, around the world, whether it be in Japan, in the United States. I think similarly here to the cruiserweight division, where the door has been opened to so many more wrestlers. If you think back to Rey Mysterio Jr., before he arrived on the scene, did you ever think that there would be a time in World Championship Wrestling where a wrestler under the 200-pound mark would be able to succeed and be a world champion?
Yeah, you're right.
Well, that comes with booking and using your mind. Years ago, the promotion would put a man, when you use a man 200 pounds, they put him into a guy 250, you got to eat him up. Well, now they find, like, different weight classes, something for the whole world, something for everyone.
I think that's really the key to the success of World Championship Wrestling. If you're there to see the legends, we have them. The luchadors, the cruiserweights, wrestlers of all sizes and styles. I think that really is the key to the success of WCW.
And if you need to know anything, at most of the arenas, Mike Tenay has an information booth that opens from 4 to 4:15.
Pretty soon he's going to be called Professor Tenay.
I like that.
You like? Let's go to the professor.
Class is in session.
Or we can have Tenay wear parties where everyone comes dressed in plastic.
There's the Tongan death grip. And the kick of fear. Both men are down. Count them both out.
That's it. It's over.
Big win for the Barbarian and Meng, along with Jimmy Hart, over this duo from Japan.
Are we going to have a replay here?
I'm sure we are, Mike. You know, it's great to have you with us. Before you leave, though, we'd like for you to use a sentence with the word disenfranchised in it for us.
I'd like to.
Okay.
And I'll explain to you what that means then.
I bet you will. Okay. To my left, the Weasel and the Professor, and we're going to handle the replay for you. Go ahead, guys.
If I see it, then I'll call it. If you don't mind. Sitting here watching you with all your gaga all day long. I don't know what I'm doing. Simple. I'll handle it. Take it, Tenay.
Well, the headbutt there from Meng sends Nobunaga reeling. And Nobunaga then on the receiving end of that goozle as Meng applies the Tongan death grip. 2 words categorize this one. Total destruction. The victory for the Faces of Fear.
I'll handle it now. Sayonara. Hit it, Tony.
Thanks a lot, Brink. Thanks a lot, Mike, today. And now we invite you to listen to this.
Beat it.